Hi everyone, this is Brianna Vazone, and today we're going to be talking about graphing lines using the x-intercept and y-intercept. And make sure you always label your axes. Come on, there it goes. Okay, so one thing I talk about a lot with my students is what does the equation of a line look like? There's multiple equations of lines in different forms, and sometimes it can be really confusing to recognize, oh wait, is this a line? So let's write down the different versions so we can be more familiar with them. The first one is y equals mx plus b. That's your very common one that most students learn first. This is your slope-intercept, where m is your slope and b is your y-intercept. The next one is standard form, and this is the one we're going to be talking about today. So this is standard form. Boy's a little slow today. So this is slope-intercept. The next should be point slope. So this one, you have your slope, m, and then your point x0, comma y0. So this is slope, point slope. I put standard form, just kidding. And the last one is your x equals, okay, so this is just your general idea. There's an x and or a y in the equation. Make sure so like x equals 5 or y equals -7. Either one of those. Those are also lines. Okay. So lines have different forms depending on how the x and y are moved around. Okay, how many points determine a line? So when we learned about slope, we talked about if you had 2 points, that determines a line. Okay? So 2 points determine a line. Because it has to do with the slope, where if you're doing slope, you're going up and over. Once you determine your slope, you have to keep doing that same thing over and over again. Otherwise, it's no longer a line and it turns into a curve. Because slope needs to be consistent. Alright, so that's the basic reason why you only really need 2 points. So 2 of the points that we can use to graph a line are the x-intercept and the y-intercept, and that's what we're going to be doing today. Okay, so what is an intercept? I don't remember if I wrote this down. Nope. Okay. An intercept or an intersection is where 2 lines meet. The point where 2 lines meet. So our x-intercept is the point where what? The point where the line crosses what? The x-intercept x-axis. Oopsies. So the x-intercept is where the line crosses the x-axis. So take a magical guess, what would y-intercept be? The point where the line crosses the y-axis. And these do have other names sometimes, so when you get to higher level math, the x-intercept are called the roots or the zeros also. So that will come up later on. Okay? So make sure you write all that down. Hope I'm not in the way. Okay, so let's find the x-intercept and y-intercept. Now some students like to argue with me and say, well, I can just solve for y and do y equals mx plus b. Yes, you can, but that doesn't always work. Sometimes the numbers get super gross. So this is just another method, and it's just sometimes more useful than converting the equation. Okay, so on the x-intercept is on the x-axis. What do we know about the x-axis? Do we know the x value on the x-axis? No, it could be anything, right? How about the y value? The y value on the x-axis is 0. So, to find your x-intercept, you're going to let your y value be 0. Okay, so 2x plus 7y equals 28. I'm going to replace my y value with 0. So 2x plus 7 times 0 equals 28. That becomes 0. 2x equals 28. Divided by 2. X equals 14. So my x-intercept is the x value 14, comma, the y value 0. So take a guess, what do you think the y-intercept? The x value is 0. The y-intercept, y can be, we're not sure what y is, but we definitely know we're not going left or right. So for this one, x equals 0. So we're going to replace our x value with 0. 2 times 0 is 0, that cancels out. 7y equals 28. Divide by 7, my y value is 4. So my y-intercept is the point 0, comma, 4. So we're going to now use these 2 points to graph our line. Now notice my x-intercept is 14. Mine only goes up to 10. So that means I'm going to have to scale this a little bit. So instead of going up by 1s, I'm going to write in 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. And then up and down, I'm going to leave it. It's still, we're good with 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to use those 2 points, 14, 0, which is right here, and 0, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Draw my lines because all I need are 2. Draw my line. I only need 2 points to determine my line. And that's the equation. That's our graph. Alright, so what did we do for our x-intercept? Keep in mind, we're finding the x. A lot of my students, when they say x-intercept, they'll make x 0. No. We want to find our x, so that means our y value is 0. So I'm finding my x value. My y value is 0. Y-intercept, I'm finding my y, my x is 0. So pause the video and plug in 0 for the y value. See what you get. So I'm going to do 4x minus 2 times 0 equals 10. Right? I'm looking at my y value is 0. I'm looking for my x. So 4x equals 10. That cancels out, turns to 0. Divide by 4. X is 2.5. Is 2.5 bad? It's not that bad. It's not that serious. Don't get overwhelmed. It's okay. It's just a decimal. It's not a dementor. It will not suck out your soul. It's okay. Y-intercept. Let's switch colors. So this time my x is 0. So 4 times 0 minus 2y equals 10. 0 times anything is 0, so negative 2y equals 10. Divide. And y equals negative 5. So you have a choice. It really depends on your teacher. I'm totally good with doing 2.5 on my graph. Maybe your teacher tells you to scale it so that it'll be a nice point. I'm not that picky though. So for my 2.50, I'm just going to count 1, 2, and a half and put a dot just in the middle. And then 0, negative 5, just go down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm totally good with that, but you really have to look and ask your teacher to see that whether or not they care that the 0.5 is in the middle, or if you should make each of these 0.5s. So we could have done 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, and put it there. But it's really up to you or your teacher. Alright, pause the video, try this one on your own. Alright, again for our x-intercept, I'm looking for my x, my y value is 0. On the x-axis, all y's are 0. Y-intercept, my x value is 0, I'm looking for my y value. On the y-axis, x is 0. So we're going to plug in our 0. So, x plus 2 times 0 equals 5. And this is nice. X equals 5. Done. Next one, now I'm going to let my x equals 0. 0 plus 2y equals 5. That 0 goes away. Divide by 2, y equals 2.5. Now just to show you the scaling, I'm going to scale this one. So I need my y's to go up by 0.5. So 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5. Just to make it so that that's a nice number. So 0, 2.5, and 0, and 5, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when you scale, make sure you put like a 1, 2, so it's clear that this one's going up by 0.5 and this one's going up by 1 and 2. Connect my dots. And there's my line. And we are all set. Hope this helped. Have a great day.